My name is Anke Bodack, and the name of my place is 12 Senses Retreat. So Encinitas is a really beautiful little beach town, full of surfers, full of mindfulness. And the beauty for us, for our guests, is because it's very close to Los Angeles. So that actually has helped us a lot even during COVID, because a lot of people can actually drive to us. But basically, I already had my house here. And we've been living in this area for over 20 years. And it was my son's idea, who was about 12, after I was researching and looking for properties for maybe 5 or 6 years. All of a sudden he said, "Mom, why don't you do it at the house?" The design, I think I always had well-being in my mind, like for the guests, but then also sustainability has always been my passion, even in my background for car design. Even like 25 years ago, I always wanted to bring in sustainable materials. And I feel we're all interconnected, so if we create spaces that are very healthy and very non-toxic, using sustainable materials, it's like full circle. It's great for Earth, and it's also great for the well-being of our guests. So yeah, the idea was, I call it 12 senses because we actually don't just have 5 or 6 human senses, there's actually 12, which is not my idea, it's from Rudolf Steiner. And I was investigating and researching how do we best experience our senses, which is always nature, so it always goes back to nature. So that's how the idea came with, I can create 4 rooms, which also was allowed by the city. So it was quite perfect to create using the 4 elements of nature, fire, water, earth, and air, to design all the rooms. So fire is downstairs. Fire is one of my most favorite rooms at night. It's very sensual, it's very mysterious. It's quite dark, and usually you would think like, oh my God, maybe dark is a little bit, negative or maybe even scary, but I think it's one of the most beautiful rooms, especially at night with the copper lamps we have on each side of the bed, and it's also definitely the most romantic room. It's very beautiful. The earth room, first of all, is our largest room. It's very grounding. It has a lot of beautiful, very grounding materials. And I love talking about our cork wall because cork is actually carbon negative and it has a very awesome earthy smell to it, and even still has a bit of a scent, but very natural. And then because we didn't have space to put like a whole block of a bathroom, we just put a very beautiful bathtub in one of the corners of the room, and we moved the shower outside, but actually a lot of guests love to shower outside, and there's like all this like bamboo around it, so it's very earthy, very natural feeling room. And I would say this is probably one of our most popular rooms because of that beautiful bathtub. So water is a very soothing, very kind of cooling room. Many times when guests call me, I tell them, well, look at the website and maybe see what speaks to you in terms of colors or feelings. So water, I would say, is a very relaxing, refreshing, has a very like soothing ocean colors. And it's also upstairs in the building, so it's very kind of lofty feeling, and it fits very well the Encinitas area. So yeah, the air room is a very special room. It's our only vegan room, but also the way you would choose and discover the room is, it's very uplifting, it's very bright. A lot of people even say like when they spend time in the air room, they get really creative ideas. It's really good for writing. My dad actually started and kept writing on a book in that room. And also has very great sustainable materials. And we love making breakfast. Everybody that helps me here at 12 Senses, we always get fresh food, and everything is organic, and we switch out our menu every day with 2 different choices. We always have a vegan and a gluten-free choice, and we kind of make it to order, and we serve it either in room or on the roof deck. Yeah, so we have a very large amount of wood, which I love because it's a very natural, very comforting material, but also has great science behind it. So we use a lot of the shosugi-ban wood material, which means every plank of the wood is like hand-fed through fire. The longer you burn it, actually, the more fire preserved it actually is. It has a natural fire protectant. And then also all our wood is treated just with vinegar. So I love how just like very natural materials are actually also very smart, and that prevents any termites. I feel like coming from Europe or Germany, we definitely grew up with a very sustainable mindset, just because Europe is much smaller, and when I came here, we already saw like forests dying. So we were very aware of emissions and trash and things like that. So I think it just was very much ingrained the way I was brought up by my parents. There's no other way than building and living sustainable. Otherwise, where is this going to go?